My name is Heather Feather. I am the owner of Rare Bird Medicine, and today's topic is Light of the Moon. I have had the opportunity to train in the plant medicine worlds, and when I say plant medicines, I simply mean those things that are medicines that typically come from more native tribes, native peoples that have been working with plant medicines from their jungles or from their, local foliage that aids to rid the body of disease or to aid one's consciousness to evolve. And I've been training in the plant medicine realms for several years now. And the shaman that I've been training with recently administered Bufo to me. It was not the first time I had received Bufo from him. However, I have a common question that I ask here in the 49th year of my life, and this involves the concept of being with the beloved. It's a common question in my mind, like, where's the beloved? 49. I've asked the Akashic Records, and I have a 50% likelihood of giving birth to a child at this juncture. And that can feel sometimes scary. It's like, I'm not even dating anyone. At a 50% chance, I'm not even dating, and I kind of stepped away from it because I kind of feel like I will meet my person more organically than some of the opportunities that are available in the modern age. However, the first time I took Bufo, I had asked the medicine what I needed to know to support myself to be in union with the beloved, with my partner. How am I failing partnership in this life? How do I need to grow? What is my work? That's always my question. And I've asked exes, what could I have done differently for you, or what didn't? I'm happy to receive feedback, and I'm happy to grow and evolve, and I'm happy to own my stuff in the relationship. But I've also learned you can't own everything in a relationship. You're not it takes a two-way street for a relationship to work. And so the Bufo showed me being with the beloved, being in partnership, and how fun that would be, and how it just gave me this concept of feeling like I was with the beloved and we loved each other. We didn't really judge each other. We just enjoyed each other's company. And then it showed me and him standing over a crib, and we could see our child in the crib, and we were so delighted to look upon our son, and it was so exciting. And I could feel all of this long-awaited joy. It was like the dream had finally become a reality, and here it is. You have a family now. You have created this long-sought reality, Heather Feather. The next thing it showed me was me in a past life as an African queen. And it was a side profile of me, looking out over the kingdom that my husband, or the king, and I ruled. And I was kind of cast in the shadows, and the moon was up behind my head. And so there was just this faint light of the moon surrounding me. And to my right, facing forward, was my husband, and the sun surrounded him. And all of the kingdom cheered and applauded him. And I could see that I had, he really didn't do much for the kingdom. It was just showing me this process of he didn't do a lot for the kingdom. And I did quite a bit. We had troubles with the harvest. I helped to fix the harvest, and I was doing all kinds of stuff for the people. And I could see this in my face, this indignation, not because I did it for recognition, but because the truth had not been witnessed by the people. I was cast in the shadows of the moonlight, and here he is receiving all this praise for something that he actually didn't do. And I found it quite frustrating to live a life in silent, humble, being the only one that had any reverence for what I was doing as a person. And so I was like, that was interesting. I just thought it was interesting how it ended. Well, I recently had the opportunity to work with shaman again. He administered Bufo again. And, this is an ongoing question for me. Again, at 49, not having a family, being somebody that always thought I would have kids, and having worked with kids in a lot of different capacities, it's like, what's going on here? What am I doing? How can I fix this situation? And it again showed me this concept. It showed it to me in a different way, the ways and layers under which this is true in my life. In my own life, I had two cats. I had Ashtar, who was the boy, who was my son, S-O-N, also my son, S-U-N, sunshine. And I had his sister, Salusa, who is all gray, and she's always been my moon, my little lunar bear, my moon bear. And I tell her all the time, all the stars shine at the moon, baby. However, Ashtar passed this past year, and I noticed that, it's for a lifetime, he has received so much attention. He's always been my son. He's always been my lap cat. He's always been And there are times throughout the 13 years I've had Salusa that I sometimes treat her the way I'd treat myself. I just not as much affection, not as much acknowledgement. She's a very powerful hunter. She has a lot of prowess. She's super smart. She's very linked in the brow chakra, and she's worked as this like ally spirit to protect me and shield me in a lot of ways. And she just hadn't gotten the same recognition. And so in my final receiving of the Bufo in recent moments, I had an opportunity where I got to sit with her one-on-one and apologize to her that I had cast her into the shadows of the moonlight because her brother, the son, took so much attention. And this is, I'm sure there's many things that are foibles and failings on my part, and may I evolve and grow on all of them when it comes to relationship, Communication is always, I think, key. But I was recognizing that a major foible, because this is what the Bufo keeps telling me that Heather Feather has, is kind of putting my mate in the spotlight. Now, I get my interpretation of how to be a partner from Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie, Leave It to Beaver. My dad drowned in the Brazos River when I was 17 months old, and my mom raised the three of us from the moment I was 17 months old until I became an adult. She died in a car accident when I was 24. But I didn't have a model in my home of what it looks like for partners to be in relationship together. I had a model of what it looks like for a woman to work all the time, which is pretty much what I do. I have many jobs. I constantly work, and I've definitely, in some ways, fulfilled that role that I watched my mom play. However, on a lot of levels, my mom was kind of shaded in the moonlight as her three children were the sun, and we took so much of her attention. She was terrible with time and always late to everything, but she was great at giving you her time and attention. She had this weird relationship with time where she could give you undivided time and attention and be really present with children because she deeply loved kids. My mom loved kids like no person I've ever met. And she would just be so present with children. She was often far more entertained by children than adults. And but she had her own foibles as a human in ways that she offered me opportunity to grow on certain topics, like my relationship to time, like my relationship to work and my relationship to play. This lesson keeps flushing up for me from Bufo and its offering, and I recognize the mirror of it in my sweet cats' lives. So I'm having this like amazing connectivity to my cat Salusa, in which we're bonding a lot. I lost my brother, she lost her brother, and so now she's receiving a lot more of the attention and love and devotion that she's always deserved. So is Heather Feather, because for a large portion of my life, I felt like a lowly worm under the feet of humanity. I had very, very low self-esteem. I did not understand my value on any level. And I love to serve and I love to help. And so I just have been real focused in that frequency of like, let me help, but I can see this in a partnership. When I have a partner, I'm very like, let me get your pipe and slippers. I have this very kind of 50s idea, if you will. And there are parts of me that are very traditional, actually, that it's just my nature, and that's okay. I don't have to change that, and not everything has to be so, I don't know, with the times, or we can all live our lives in whatever way makes us happy. So I do tend to be more service-oriented, more subservient, more, and that's part of my nature. So that's not going to go away. The challenge I face in relationship is that it's really important that I be witness to and privy to the reality of who I am being and what I am offering. And I take it for granted a lot, It's like I will offer a partner, and I have, from the moment I had the affair in my 20s with my ex-husband, I have offered devotional loyalty to every partner I've had. I've never cheated on anyone and never will again. So I've offered this devotional loyalty, but then the last two partners I had in the past year, one of them was sleeping with two other people, which is not monogamous in my opinion. The other one was dating another woman that he works with within 3 days of us breaking up, which implies an emotional affair was present. And I'm not judging that. However, what I do recognize is like, I tend to jump to, let me forgive them, and they have the right to be human and fallible, and let me understand, let me be compassionate. And yes, I do believe love is the answer. I don't think that if someone's been my lover, I don't want to attack them. I don't want to vilify them. If you've had that layer of intimacy with me, then you're clearly not a bad guy, because I've got too high of a frequency for you to be a bad guy. You may be human and you may have some foibles and some learnings that I've already learned, but I'm not going to attack you because you haven't learned what I've learned, because I've had lessons I've had to learn too that are quite difficult. However, this a few months ago, I was trying to like have dinner with my ex. Just the opportunity came up, and we wanted to catch up, and I was realizing, like, I don't have to do that or need to do that. It's not because he's bad. It's not because anything is wrong. As a general rule, I haven't maintained relationship with a lot of my exes, because if we've come so far together that our naked bodies have come together and we couldn't get along at that point of intimacy, I don't really see the point in trying to continue any type of intimacy. If we don't have children involved, what is the point of us maintaining intimacy? We couldn't get along in the most intimate of ways. You know what I mean? So, so I'm having this dawning realization now that, like, although one of my exes is now my neighbor, we talk on very rare occasions just because our cats share the yard, but we don't really talk anymore. And I think it's for the best, like, I think he's blessed with this new woman that he loves, and I'm happy that he has a new place to live, to have privacy with her. And I'm happy he's had all the shifts in his life, and we don't have to necessarily, continue knowing each other just because we live next to each other. And the same goes for my other ex. Like, he's an amazing chess player, and when I was dating him, I was like, I can't wait to get really good at this and beat you, so you really have some competition. And so he mentioned us playing chess together, but I don't really want to play chess with my ex, And so part of the evolution work that Heather needs is to understand that it's okay for me to bow out. It's just like we just kind of have different values, and I'm not superior and I'm not better than anybody, but trust has been broken. And because trust has been broken, if I can't trust you as a lover, I certainly can't trust you as a friend. And so that's okay. I'm not judging you. I don't attack you. I don't think you're a bad guy. I think you're a soul that's learning. Pressure makes the diamond. Maybe you need more pressure on that topic. Maybe you need to learn that you're polyamorous. I don't know what the thing is, but like I don't have to continue to give myself exposure to those that have broken trust with me. And that's hard for me, because I feel like I belong to all people. I belong to all people. I belong to the world. There's no exclusivity from Heather Feather. And I'm learning that it's like, not only is it not the case, because I'm not going to go down by the river and hang out with people smoking crack. Why? Because I don't smoke crack, and that's not how I want to spend my evening. So no, not everyone necessarily. I may love them as humans and pray for them and pray they have grace and ease in that challenging path, because I've known crack addicts. It's a difficult path to walk. But it doesn't mean that I need to like have you over for supper. And if somebody breaks trust, I don't necessarily need to go play chess with you, And that's difficult for me to accept, because I want to always just keep being accepting, being loving, being forgiving. There's another point that the Bufo is making to me, though, which is like, we can put the beloved on a pedestal. We can, like, I love to cherish the beloved. I love to tell the person I love all the things I like about them. I love to find what makes them happy and do those things, to nurture them. And it's vital that I not let that have a greater weight than the devotion, love, and nurturing that I give to Heather Feather, because I'm breathing with her every breath. I'm always breathing with this character, and I'm playing this character, And so I'm working to figure out, as I do very much still desire to manifest union and partnership. And certainly there's a person I'm deeply attracted to that I don't act right with, and I recognize this. Like, I don't act right with that person. And it's because they're so attractive and so interesting. And the more I find out about them, the more attractive. I'm just like, it's like somebody stumbled in heaven and filled their basket with all the graces, and then their character was just amazing on top of it. But I'm learning to like not have a lot of attachment to that, to just, I see that for what it is. And if there's opportunity, I bless it. And still the focus is loving me, cherishing me, nurturing me, caring about me, being present to my presence in the room, being present to my grace and my offering and the gift that I am in every relationship in the room. How much do you allow yourself to shine in the sunlight? And how much are you pushing yourself into the shadows and giving someone else all the grace of the glory of the light of your love? You can always subscribe to Rare Bird Medicine on YouTube, like and comment there. I always love to hear y'all's thoughts. Amuna Senastar.